Gentlemen and lady, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Today I'm back with a deck guide, and I'll let you guys decide in the poll on my channel recently which Warlord you would like to see, and the winner, by a mile, was the Chief Librarian of the Thousand Sons, Ahriman. First, a little story time. Ahriman has somewhat of a special place in my heart, because back when I started playing this game, I just read through his 40k trilogy, and then I was super stoked to see him as a playable Warlord and the Thousand Sons as a playable faction in this game, so I immediately bought the Thousand Sons starter deck, and when he was in shop I actually bought more in-game gold so I can buy more packs so I can afford him from the shop. And he was also the first Warlord I ever brought to 3k, I think, so he was kind of my first main. And this is also where I made this cringeworthy Reddit post. Yeah, I've been there too, gentlemen. To be fair, he was actually considered unplayable back then, until I think Vapix made War Master with him a couple months later. I think it was October 2020? I'm not quite sure, but that's also the month where I did my first top 50. So yeah, there's a lot of history attached, as you see. I also like how they transitioned him into the game. I read the Thousand Sons Horus Heresy novel recently, and his main role on the battlefield was using precognition. He was a master at that, and his purpose was to prevent his allies from being attacked by the enemy by predicting where missiles are going to strike, etc, etc. And well, that's his ability in-game as well. He prevents his troops from being attacked by the enemy. A little reminder before we check out the deck, there's a giveaway going on my channel right now where you can win 1000 gold if you submit a custom card to me. If you want more details, please check out the video description or click on the little I button at the top right of your screen. And now, let's see what I brewed for you. I decided to go for a mission deck here, and while this is probably not the strongest approach for the Thousand Sons, I think this is the most fun one, and Ahriman is great at completing the mission Chosen of Tzeentch, so we want to generate a lot of psychic energy with our troops, and Ahriman's role here is going to be to protect troops which generate psychic energy, especially something like Predator's Squad with his ability. I also slammed in the generally good stuff and some value troops like Malkiel and Sukassin. Obviously, Ahriman can protect those as well, and you also have tools like McHattrick Cabal here and Isigor Or. So basically, Chosen of Tzeentch is somewhat of a win condition, but as you will see later, I will show you some replays. You can win pretty conveniently without completing the mission, or not even including it at all. But regardless of this being somewhat of a funny gimmick deck as I planned it to be, I climbed with it to 4k, so I'm pretty happy with the results here so far. I've been winning quite a bunch, as well, some bots in between, but man, I don't have time to wait for the queue when I'm playing for myself. So yeah, I'm gonna show you some replays later. Now let's go over the deck and over what I thought while including all these cards over here. Let's talk about the Warlord real quick. His ability is pretty straightforward. You protect your troops from being attacked. But mastering Ahriman means mastering precognition, and I'm not talking about his ability, I'm talking about your own precognition. You kinda need to know what your opponent is going to play and what he's running. Like, if you're up against Space Wolves, you can precog all day. And I think it's easier to explain if I'll show you some games later so you see a practical approach to it. But since psychic energy is an unlimited resource in the terms of you can bank as much as you want from it, the psychic powers became somewhat expensive because, well, the Thousand Sons Warlords got nerfed to only Psycho 1. So you really need to know when to use your psychic abilities, because at some point when you want to use one of your psychic powers, you won't be able to because you don't have enough psychic energy. He also has the Patterns of Fate, a pretty cool special card you can play on 4 energy. Little tip here from me, if you're going first, always play the card on 4 energy, so you can play the potentially big hitter your opponent has in his hand before he does. If you're going second, keep this for whatever occasion. It's just basically a 4 energy card you can play when you have to spare energy. Chosen of Tzeentch. The mission card, this is somewhat what the deck revolves around, is kind of like a win condition. Doesn't always contribute to you actually winning the game. The thing is, when opponents see you completing the mission, they like to concede for some reason, although it's not that strong. But it is as it is, gentlemen. You will see it in action. I don't think I have to explain this one. You will get Unleashed Mind, so your Warlord will gain Psycho 3, and you will get a random psychic power at the start of your turn. That's about it. So not particularly good, but not that bad either. And we're going naturally there, so I think that's kind of cool to include this one here. Missions are a very cool concept, and when I have the possibility to include one in my decks to make something viable, a new archetype basically, I'm going ahead and totally doing that. Command Bridge, this is just pretty handy in Thousand Suns because psychic powers count as tactics, yeah? So you can fetch those psychic powers out of your deck by using Command Bridge if you need those in really dire situations. You basically play those for free still. I say for free because psychic energy is not real, basically. It's not a real energy source, you just generate it, it's the faction mechanic. I hope you know what I mean, that what sounded a bit whack right now. Whatever. But yeah, it's just a neat card to always have in your deck, so we run Command Bridge. Then we have Lord Malkiel, obviously a very good turn 1 play as well, since Ahriman doesn't have an ability to spend on energy, and turn 1 you usually play the mission. But if you have Lord Malkiel, go ahead and play him, then you will be able to play Patterns of Fate turn 2. And that's pretty cool, right? Because it reduces the cost of the card you fetch from your opponent by 4. You can obviously protect him with stuff like Mechatric Cabal or your own ability if you see it fit. So a pretty nice addition here, very good turn 1 play. Same goes for these guys, Prahat Reckon. They basically pay for their own ability. They generate 1 psychic energy, and for 1 energy you get to draw a tactic from your deck. So you also get to choose it. It's very nice. It's even better than just drawing a card. And they have reasonable stats for their cost. And again, Ahriman can protect them with his ability if you see it fit. Or you can drop a Mechatric Cabal after your opponent will usually face bash into these guys. So, but keep in mind, their ability is not that strong, so usually after I've maybe drawn 2 or 3 cards with them, I stop precogging them. When your hand is full, basically just, you don't need more draw. Don't waste more psychic energy on these guys, or don't waste more resources basically on protecting them. You don't need to. You need to find out a moment where it's basically, as I mentioned before, reasonable to spend psychic energy on Ahriman's ability and when not. Anyway, off to the next one, Ankat Sect. I really like these guys. 3 energy, 3 Psycho 1, pretty fair, and on rally you get to choose a psychic power and put it in your hand. So ideally you can get another Ashen Blow, or you can get an Astral Warfare. But what I really like about these guys, that you can fetch for some cards which you usually would never run in your main deck. I'm talking about stuff like War Portal. War Portal is really cool if you have, for example, an Issachar Ore in your hand. Then you can basically bounce the Issachar Ore for another whole board precog next turn. Or you can use something like Call the Tutelary. Call the Tutelary is really good if you have a hidden one, for example, who has permanently precognition. You play this guy, and then you buff him up with Call the Tutelary, and then he's going to have Psycho 4 and 5, 6, and precognition, so really difficult to deal with. Really like these guys. Enumerations, some draw, really like this one. But like with Ahriman's ability, you need to be a little bit cautious with that. If you're in top deck mode, this is the time to play this, right? If you're like beginning of the game, maybe it's better to save some psychic energy. On turn 2, by default, you can play this once, so you will have 3 psychic energy. But if you have an Immunis quad in your hand and enumerations, wait for turn 3, so when you play the Immunis quad. Because on turn 3, with the rally of Immunis quad, you're going to have 6 psychic energy and you're going to be able to draw 4 cards. Yeah, that's just a little tip how to use this card. Other than that, I usually like to keep it when the game drags on and I'm in top deck mode, or when I have an abundance of psychic energy and I really want to draw something. So yeah, a difficult card to include, but in my opinion a must have, because without it, I had some versions where I didn't run it and I always ran out of cards. Legionary 2-leg, improved glass rifle on rally deals 1 damage, and if the target dies, you gain 2 psychic energy. That works towards the mission, so obviously an auto include. Just like the next card in Mechatric Cabal, these guys can basically save you 1 turn of precognition, and the thing about them is that they also protect your Warlord, so your opponent has to go through the little psychic barrier before attacking your troops or you. Really good value on these guys. And now Predator Squad, I really don't like these, to be honest, but their whole purpose is to help us completing the mission. They have Psycho 2, 2, 3 and precognition, and Ahriman can give them precognition for 2 psychic energy. So we're running some Mafia shit right here. They will pay for their own protection. So they generate psychic energy. You need to put some precognition back on them the turn after they are played, and they will just tick down your mission. That's basically their whole purpose, but without them, it sometimes turns out to be difficult to complete it, so you need every resource you can get to complete the Chosen of Tzeentch mission. Immunis Squad, this is a good one. I think this goes in every Thousand Suns decks, and really you gain 2 psychic energy, it counts towards the mission, decent stats, and not much to explain here. Then Eurosukhasen, as mentioned, this is one of those value troops I like to include in Ahriman, because again, Ahriman can precog her, and you can also protect her with stuff like Mechatric Cabal or Issachar Ore. That comes in really handy. She can disrupt your opponent a lot. if he can't deal with it. Since you give her precognition, your opponent will have to use tactics to deal with her, and those tactics will cost 2 more. So you see the logic behind it, hopefully. Really good card. And now Pen to Dust. This is an auto-include also in every 1000 Suns deck. Very powerful, generates 2 Psychic Energy, and you can of course use that Psychic Energy to heal 3, mostly to your Warlord, but you can also use it on a troop when it's convenient at that point, and he has precognition by default, so very good troop, no reason not to run him in any 1000 Sun deck. Then the hidden one, he also has precognition by default, so no need to use your ability on him ever. He is here not for his ability, but because he has permanent precognition and Psycho 2. He helps a lot with completing the mission. I would never go without 2 of those in a mission deck. His ability is also neat, to be honest. You don't need to use it every turn, but it often comes in handy when you have some spare energy and you want to fill your hand with something. And if you're up against, I don't know, Iron Warriors, grab that Confidor. Yeah, if you're up against Imperial Fists, grab that Stalwart Defender. They are going to like it, trust me. But most of the time he will idle or pick good trades. Then Isaac or another very good 1000 Suns legendary, goes in every deck. Basically buys you a whole turn. Not much to say here, just use him wisely. Again, you kind of need to know your matchups here. If you're up against something like, I don't know, Cambit Diaz or some shit like that, which doesn't really rely on direct attacks, then go for it and play him on curve. If you have nothing better to play, do it, whatever. But if you're up against something like, I don't know, Angron or Salamanders, there the right use of this guy can change the course of the game. So yeah, we'll maybe see some examples later again. Quas, Peter, I just really like them. 3-5 flanker and also cleave 2, so a little AoE added. Not much to say here. I really like them, and if they survive, Ahriman can precog them, and then you can attack with them one more time next turn, maybe, and your opponent will have to play around the cleave a bit. Ahriman's Cabal, huge 6-drop. Not in terms of stats, but precognition on rally, like the Predator squad, Psycho 3, and for 1 energy, if you're about to complete the mission, press that ability button and you will generate 7 Psychic Energy in 1 turn. That obviously also counts towards the Chosen of Tzeentch mission, and in general they are great. If you were at 0 Psychic Energy before playing them and your opponent swarms the board for some reason, you press that button, gain 4 Psychic Energy, and then bomb them with the Astral Warfare. Really good card. I think this also goes in pretty much every 1000 Sun stacks. It's just a very good 6-drop. Then our first Psychic Power, Ash and Blow. Self-explanatory, I think. You ran 2 or 1 in every 1000 Sun stacks. Destroy an enemy troop for basically free. Good swing. Horned Raymond. So, I was a bit conflicted about this one, I'll be honest. It's basically a City of Light, but for 5 more energy, and you also get a shield. The shield is very matchup dependent on how effective it is. Against, for example, Salamanders with a lot of tiny troops, it doesn't matter. Against Zoo in general. But if you're up against something like Perturabo, Exodus, Mortarion, so stuff which relies on big damages at once, which don't have that many pings, then this card will actually win you the game. So in some matchups it's gonna be dead, in other matchups it's going to actually be really useful. I don't think it's an auto-include, but I really liked it here, so I decided to run it. It also gives Psycho 1, which can come in handy sometimes. Then Sex Demon. I included this one because the maintenance on this one really doesn't matter at all. Our biggest drop is the Ahriman's Cabal, and I don't count Horned Raymond. So basically the maintenance doesn't matter if you are on 10 energy. Ahriman can precog this, so your opponent can't flank into this or anything, and will have to use hard removal to deal with those, which leaves him open to stuff like Ahriman's Cabal. And we top it off with Astral Warfare, the AoE of the 1000 Suns. I fucking hate this card, not gonna lie, but it's basically free. Because, again, Psychic Energy is not real, it's not a real resource, but 2 to 5 damage for free, I'll fucking take it. Alright, that was the deck. I'll show you just in a minute how it plays. But first, if you don't agree with me on some of my card choices, or if you're missing some of these cards, I got some card alternatives for you. First, some faction cards and City of Light. You see that a lot, but I decided against it here because I rely on my troops to generate Psychic Energy, and this card is only really good if you play turn 1. Our turn 1 play is the Mission, or Malkia, or the Reckon Squad. And if you're in top deck mode and you draw this card, it's actually really bad. So yeah, I decided against it, but I don't think it's wrong to play it. So if you feel like it, go ahead and put it in your deck. Then Kalmec Squad and Flesh Change. I put these two together because they go together like bread and butter. Kalmec Squad will generate you 2 Psychic Energy, that counts towards the mission, but I don't think it's really worth it to precog them and then use their active energy ability to generate Psychic Energy. That's quite a bad deal, 2 energy for 2 Psychic Energy. So what you want to do is wait until you have a Flash Change in hand and then use the Kalmec Squad to go with the Flash Change. The flash change doesn't count towards the mission, but that's 8 psychic energy in one turn, and that can be huge. Then Ankto, that's the 4 energy for damage tactic of the Thousand Suns. I didn't include it because I simply don't like it. It has a condition to return back into your deck, and this is not a face deck though. This is maybe something for Sanact. You see that in Sanact a lot, who basically relies on burning you down and using the psychic energy to give you a big fucking hit. We don't need that here. We rely on random shit pulled from the mission to win, so Ankto is just not very good value to keep board control. The Speeders, the 5 energy ones, they just do a much better job at that, but I still don't think it's a very bad card, so you might include that one. Then Book of Magnus, if you want to fetch for some psychic powers, is a pretty good tool. If you don't have any psychic powers in hand, or even if you didn't use any, so the first part won't come into play, you can play this on 5 to draw 3 psychic powers, which will come in handy, but I just don't think it's that insane of a legendary, so I didn't include it. Then we have the Horus veterans. They are like the bad version of the 3 energy guys, which allow you to pick up psychic power. These give you a random psychic power and resolution, also only have Psycho 1. So if you don't have Ahriman's Cabal, if you're on a budget for example, you can run these, or you can also include them like that, so you have something else to play on 6 energy, but I don't think they're that great. They're cool if you complete the mission, so you get more random shit to play with, but yeah, that's about it. Then Balek Uthizar. So this guy is a double-edged sword. He can win you the game, or he can be completely useless. If you complete the mission, and if you happen to bank a lot of psychic energy, then you play this guy, then you can win with something like a Witchfire on Reflection, pew pew pew. But most of the time this won't happen, trust me. Maybe you draw him in your starting hand and he will be a dead card, then you play him on 7 energy and he did nothing because he doesn't really have very good stats for his cost, so you can risk to run him to have an alternative win condition, basically mission and then Balek Uthizar, or maybe pair him with a Witchfire as well. Yeah, it's risky though, but it will be a fancy way to win the game, I guess. But it really won't contribute to your win rate, trust me. Then some neutral cards. We have a Thame. I sometimes like to run that in Thousand Suns. You can obviously use it to give you a Warlord Survivor too, if you're on the brink of death. This can sometimes buy you another turn, but most importantly you can also use it to bounce troops. We have a lot of good rallies here, so of course Issacar is the first choice here, or Mechatric Cabal. Then we have the Chulcha Engine. As you noticed, the Thousand Suns have a lot of powerhouse troops which you want to play on curve to get the desired results, like Ahriman's Cabal, Issacar or the Apothecary, and the Chulcha Engine basically helps with that. It's kind of like a curve fix, but optimally you want to play it turn 1, then fish into a 3-drop, or you want to use it to fish for an Issacar when you're about to die or something, or when you're about to land a lethal blow. But our turn 1 plays mostly the mission, and I just didn't find any place for it. I didn't need it. I just managed to curve out pretty nicely without it, but still, if you want some have an extra insurance, go ahead and include the Chulcha Engine. Then Informant Network or Call of Cowardice, this would be my anti-stealth pick of choice here. Both work really well. You can also pair them with Astral Warfare if you happen to be in matchups where stealth doesn't matter, so you kind of mitigate the random damage from the Astral Warfare a bit. And yeah, if you want some anti-stealth in this deck, I don't think it's really needed because of Astral Warfare, Cleave, and the Precognition. It's fine, I did fine without it, to be honest, let's just put it like that. But if you want some extra insurance against Raven Guard, against stuff like Agents of the Sigillite, Orphans of War, then go ahead, include an Informant Network or a Call of Cowardice. The choice is up to you, both have the same purpose. Then Watchers in the Dark, they got restatted quite a bit here, and I think if you're up against a lot of Salamanders, they are quite a good tech, because for 1 energy they will jam the Survivor of the troops, or if you're up against Agents of the Sigillite, this is also really nice, and Ahriman can keep those alive. With 5 health and Precognition, it's very likely that these are going to stick, but keep in mind that you're investing a lot here. It's 1 energy per turn on the Watchers in the Dark ability, and it's going to be, most of the time, 2 psychic energy from Ahriman's ability. Risky pick, but if you are really struggling with, for example, Salamanders, then go ahead and include the Watchers in the Dark. Then Arbuslight are always a nice card to have, but honestly, I didn't need any cycle. I have heals, and energy refills is not that important here, so I decided for once to skip it. But Arbuslight is always nice to have, so you're never doing a mistake if you're including it in one of your decks. And the last card here is Traitor's Demise. As you noticed, Ahriman is really good at stalling. We have Mechatric Cabal, we have his ability, we have Issacar, and Traitor's Demise just adds to it. You can basically bait your opponent into playing more shit on the board before you drop your Issacar, and then he plays even more stuff, and then you like double Astral Warfare or stuff like that. It's very matchup dependent though, that's why I didn't include it, but it's still a neat card to include. Unfortunately, it works only on troops. I would love to see it working on warlords as well, but maybe for one more cast. But anyway, that's it with the alternative cards and the deck, guys, so to say. And now we're going to jump into some gameplay. I won't do any live gameplay today. I'm a little bit short on time, but I have some really juicy replays for you which will highlight the deck's performance really well, and it will also show you some mistakes I made while managing psychic energy. What I said just at the beginning of the deck guide, that you have to master Ahriman's precognition, so you need to know when to use your precognition and when not, so you have enough psychic energy to use those psychic powers eventually. And yeah, I would say let's check this out. Enjoy the games. So, the first game I got for you is against Numeon. All over the ladder currently. Good to go Warlord for special needs people. And here we have his prime specimen. Let's see how it goes. I just opened up with the mission, nothing else to play here unfortunately. Not the best hand, would like to have a 3-drop here. Or at least something to follow up. He plays the artifact creation guy. And uses his counter attack. Doesn't attack though. I'm like, okay. I just pop the survivor here. And call it a day. So. He doesn't face bash, but attacks with a 2-1. Played around the last rifle guy, I guess. I don't know. I play Patterns of Fate. We're going first. So, I'll try to steal some tempo here. I don't attack into the 3-3, it just takes too much and I don't have the ping guys, so whatever. And now I should have a decent power play here. I can play the console and the Numeon squad. And then I can Ashen Blow to swing the tempo a bit. Alright. Pretty good, and now I basically have board control. But my man top decks an Ardent Zeal on 5. And I don't have Ashen Blow anymore, so that sucks. And he will be able to trade away the console here. Unfortunate, but it's fine. I will take 8 here, obviously, but oh well. I can still kill it. I'll play off my 6 energy, get another Numeon squad and the Predator squad out. Predator squad will be able to draw me some cards. Take the 8. Had to. I don't precog the Raiders because I'm like, yeah, if he has the Javelin, then he has the Javelin. And he has the Javelin. Maybe should have. I would like to have some more draw here. Good top deck here. I give it a smack. I play 2-leg. I attack with a Moonus most likely here. And I think I should have played the Sect here instead of the Praetor squad, because he most likely has Tectonic Blast here. Now he has Purging Flame. Right. Does he have the 2 energy guy as well? No, he has Dragon's Breath. That fucking sucks. So yeah, I should have played the End Sect because I kind of that was kind of like the moment where they play AoE, and yeah, I think Praetor squad would be more valuable here than the Sect. Tutelary, nice. The other cards I don't like too much. Enumerations would be great, but I simply don't have that much psychic energy at the moment, and Scrying is kind of poo-poo. So yeah, go for the Call of Tutelary on the hidden one. That's basically why I picked it, so we get the mission done at some point, right? So, also, I don't get the attack here, to be honest. Like, I'm gonna trade here anyway, right? So, I really want to get a Mount Deathfire, but I don't. You know? Okay, I'll get a Voss Fighter instead, and I'll probably fish for an Ashen Blow. Like, I have only like 5 tactics left in the deck. The Command Bridge and Predator squad would always get me what I want. And I think I'm gonna Voss Fighter it just for the sake of it, like whatever. For all the other big guys I have an Ashen Blow now, so I don't care about the Voss Fighter too much. Alright, he spawns a dude and plays the console. Alright, and we finally complete the mission, gentlemen. we finally complete the mission. Alright. That's why I also picked Cold Tutelary, because I also see no way to win this without fucking Unleashed Mind. Alright. So. Clear the board here with an Astral Warfare. I grab another Cold Tutelary. Greedy, to be honest, but I want to... Yeah, I don't know what I thought. Maybe I should have played the Astral Warfare. I guess it was also some kind of muscle memory. I don't know. I precog it because also it pays for it. And another Javelin. Okay, I have no idea what the fuck I thought here. I'll be honest. I think... Oh yeah, cool. He has a Sex Demon, so yeah. Good that I precogged it. Anyway. Good bunch of Psychic Energy. I just Ashen Blow the Sex Demon. Nothing better to do here. Sukasan. Then I got another Boss Fighter. Why not? It's good against Salamanders. And then I Quick Blood Sukasan, so she doesn't die to a Tectonic Blast. He will have to Face Bash into her first. But I prevent that by precocking her. And this time I don't precock this guy because whatever. He pays for himself, but maybe I'll get a Psychic Lash eventually, and then I'll need to store up some Psychic Energy. Yeah, he top decks another Javelin. That fucking sucks. But okay. It is as it is. Malkiel. Horrible top deck, but the mission is generous. I get an enumeration, which lets me draw a good bunch of cards. Since I have a bit of Psychic Energy banked, I draw another enumerations. That sucks a bit, but whatever. I think I'll go all in here with Izugar Ore. So yeah, I dropped the Cabal. I probably drop Malkiel. And Izugar Ore. Sukasan is out, so I will probably have a good time. I draw last. It was like, yeah, whatever I'm gonna do. But yeah, there's actually nothing else I can draw here, so I'm like, whatever. Face bashing also makes little sense. So, of course, this Boss Fighter hits my biggest dude. Yep. Pretty good. But that's lethal regardless. So yeah, the mission, I don't know, didn't contribute really, although the enumerations were really juicy, and he scoops it up here, despite hitting the big guy. Alright, that was the first game, and I'd say let's check out the next one. So, this is a very recent one against the Horus. Here I just wanted to show you how I...
Knowledge is power.
How to use the tools in the Thousand Suns arsenal, so to say. I still go for the mission here, just in case. He command bridged something. This card, I think. So, excuse me. And yeah, it's not a belt. He command bridged something else. Command bridge. Belt was on this stand already. So, I got a good follow-up flow here. I'll play a Raiders squad. So, and now is where the big thinking begins. So, this fucker here is 4/6. Yeah, I have no way to deal with him. I could Ashen Blow him, and I was hovering over it, but it's like, now let's check out first what he has in his hand. And what I see, Ludark. Ashen Blow needs to go on Ludark. I precog my Praetor squad. Call it a day. All right. Now he of course plays the Ludark. I need to kill this guy, whatever. This will transform into a greater demon, and I actually want to use that to my advantage here because of the maintenance. Yeah, this is basically what we're going to do. Little spoiler, Brad. Keep watching. So, Ludark has to go. Big guy. Ashen Blow. Yeah, okay. First my own Ludark, or my own Ludark. Then Ashen Blow. Yeah, Spear Tip, gentlemen. Then I play the Praetus. And then I give that can't attack. Just so he can't kill my Ludark. Alright. So, he goes for Lupercal's Ambition. And this basically seals the game because he played like such a low tempo card here, in my opinion. But well, it is as it is. So, this becomes a sex demon. Funny enough, Lupercal's ambition actually buffs, well, like, everything which buffs stuff when it gets Mark of Chaos also gives it to demons. It's super weird. So yeah, I get a command bridge. Because I don't need any of the other cards. Whatever. I decide to go all in here with the Isakar ore and leave my man here sitting on maintenance a bit. Alright. I go ham. Yeah, that's why I wanted to save the Ludrak so much from the little dude. So. Clathal with the Mark of Khorne and getting another +1/+1 from Lupercal's ambition. So, I get an Astral Warfare here. And then I go for the Speeder, just to pop the shield, or the drop pod. Get also some damage in on him. Then I Astral Warfare. I'm not gonna trade though. I don't care here. Like, it would be cool if that died, but yeah, well, didn't happen. I mean, it was only, it got 5 damage. So yeah, I go face here with everything else. And yeah, I'll get the Ashen Blow. So yeah, no idea what he can do here. Like, this trades here, then he maybe has another flanky boy, but the maintenance really fucked him up big time, I think. Because we also saw he has a planetary invasion in his deck, in his hand, so that helped us a lot against that as well. Alright, that was the second game, and I'd say off to the next one. Oh boy, next one is against the Cor'bax. Really shitty matchup. Our precognition is basically useless, but I think I'll manage to
Knowledge is power.
win this one as well. So, I'll go for Chosen of Tzeentch. I guess that's going to be my win condition, and I think my man's here. He plays a fucking flashlight. This looks so disgusting, man. So yeah, I go for the Mechatric Cabal. Why do I do that? Because I want to have something on the board, and he can't reliably poison this, so yeah. He doesn't do it anyway. He just goes for to buff Khorne and play the mission. So, we're going first. That means we play Patterns of Fate. And look at that. Look at that. Great Unclean One. Yep, still being played. Still strong. I precog this guy because I want to bait out his counterattack. Why I want this? Because then I can play the hidden one and he can't kill that. Yeah. Now he's just gonna use the counterattack on it because he can't attack it, and it's still gonna die. Next, like on my turn, and I'm still gonna get the psychic energy. That's the first thing. Second thing, hidden one would have died to double poison into counterattack, and I really don't want the hidden one to die. So I play the hidden one, and he's pretty safe now. Yeah, there's not really anything he can do to kill him. He can poison him, of course, but that's whatever. And he poisons him once. Plays another Fury. Keeps smacking me in the face, but he's in for a bad surprise, boys. He's in for a bad surprise. So. I'll play the Great Unclean One here for sure. Yep. And then I smack. I give it precog so he, I don't know, can't kill it. Maybe he has no limitation, and I obviously don't want it to die. Just wanted to play it safe, basically. Although at this point, like, yeah, he has the mutations though, so who the fuck knows, right? Thing is, if he would have attacked into that, I think, yeah, maybe he couldn't survive, who knows. Yeah. The precog was a bit too precautious, I think, but it's fine. Doesn't matter too much. I have a lot of psychic energy, so it doesn't really matter. And I keep generating more without psychic powers on hand. So let's see, what do I do here? I don't remember. I play the Immune Squad. Create the unclean one here. Alright. Unclean one goes up to full health. And I get myself enumerations because I have a lot of psychic energy, but not many cards in hand, so I'll go for some draws here. Draw last again, but I don't think that will change my course of play here at all. And yeah, this time I start going ham. Could have also attacked with the hidden one, to be honest. Right, poison. Poison again on this, yeah, that's unfortunate. And he gets a Plague Bearer. Smacks into this one, not sure why. So it dies next turn, I guess. Whatever. So, we got the mission done here, I think. Oh no, I don't have. Yeah, I thought I have another Immune Squad. Ah, never mind. Yeah, I do. So, I give him a couple mutates, but it really doesn't matter, I think. So now I got Unleashed Mind. And I could place a cousin here so he can't play his mutates. Yeah, that's what I do. Or he can still play his mutates, but he can't play them for 1 energy. Like, each one would cost 3. Jesus. And yeah. Alright! That should seal the game. Like, I don't think there's anything you can do here. He plays a big boy, the front line. But yeah, I got a couple answers here. For that, actually manages to kill one of my boys, but would have only done 3 damage anyway. So yeah. Even the unwinnable matchups. Well, the bad matchups, it's not unwinnable, it's bad. Can be one with some luck from the thing. What's it called? Patterns of Fate. And some baits. I don't know what I wanted to say. Yeah, just woke up. I'm sorry, guys. It was absolute fucking brain lag. Anyway, let's jump into the next game. So this is a game which will explain or justify why I'm running what you would call a shit card, Khorne Raymond.
We are Legion.
Because here I do 1 or 2 mistakes and I get quite the save by Raymond here anyway. So I play Children of Tzeentch. Going first, pretty good. Hate going second against Alpha Legion with extra card in hand. He has Sons of the Hydra, but he is just Exodus, using this as a means to force you to face bash him so he can snipe you easier. Cheap as fuck. So, I play Praetus. And I'll probably give him a smack, because, I mean, don't let the mission trigger you all the time. It's dangerous sometimes, but oh well, yeah. I would have honestly stunned myself here, and not the Praetus squad, I think. Because I can still precog it. So yeah, I go in first, so I go for the Patterns of Fate. I hope for something good, but this time I get disappointed. I get a counterattack, void engagement, and his own veterans. So, he has another veteran in hand. Yeah, I know that. I precog it. That was pointless, by the way. Could have saved that psychic energy. So that was my first mistake. He has no flankers whatsoever. So, and he can't kill that. So he can maybe attack into that, but I wouldn't mind. Now he just plays the other one I can't trade. And I can't play my Astral Warfare because of that stupid precog. Yeah. Not very well played by me. Not very well played by me. So, I could play the hidden one, but I go for the sect here because I really hope to get a Quick Blood or Tutelary, but I don't. I get the Scrying, I just cycle here. Let's just see in his hand again. He got an extra trash, I say, yeah, whatever. And yeah, because of the Scrying, I just shouldn't have played it. But I get a command bridge. That's actually good. So I precog this again. And yeah, that's basically a mistake. Because, again, because of this fucking precog, Because of I played Scrying, I can't play Astral Warfare. And he's gonna vomit his hand quite nicely here, so it would be great because I also play the Stealthy Boys. No, I can't fucking attack, you know. It sucks. I would love to Astral Warfare him, but I can't. All because one, useless precog, A, and B, yeah, that's Crying. Should have just went for the hidden one, honestly. It wouldn't be so crucial if I didn't trade. It would have the same outcome. Like as you see now, here I'm just going to get slammed in the fucking face. But eventually I will get my Astral Warfare because he still vomits his hand very nicely here. Goes into Exodus, wants to finish me off, obviously.
Exodus in position.
But now I get to come back. Yeah. If I didn't those mistakes, well, who knows? Maybe I wouldn't be able to deal with that then. That's just the patterns of fate, gentlemen. Yeah, the weaves of time and destiny and shit. Yeah, that's how you. That's what playing Ahriman does. What the playing Ahriman does to a motherfucker, you know. You're like asking yourself, what would happen if? Yeah, the warfare was okay, and the shield prevented him from the kill. I think I also forgot to attack, but it didn't matter really. So, I attack with both my boys here, get an ore out, get the Reckon out. I vomit my hand because I know he has counterattack into, what's it called, Harrowing. I give him a smack because you get the shield back after every turn. That's very convenient. And yeah, he has the counterattack into Harrowing, but it's only 3 damage, so the Reckon and what's his name? Panthu will survive. I get shielded by the damage. Pretty nice. He loads up his ability. Alright. So, mission complete. My mind is unleashed. I go for another Astral Warfare here. Heal up. I think I don't attack here because I don't need to. Unleashed Mind. Hope he doesn't have like... But even if your opponent Remembrance orders it, that's what I'm thinking right now, so you don't play mission last. So you kind of always want to play against Remembrance Order. Play around Remembrance Order. It doesn't really matter. They will only get a card which like draws them a card on the first turn, and then they will get Psychic Powers. But so it's really not a very good mission reward to Remembrancer here. So yeah, he gives me a smack so that he does 3 damage. But that actually seals his fate here. I had an Ashen Blow as well against it. But maybe he had something like a ping or anything. I don't know. So yeah, Astral Warfare hits big here. If it didn't, I would just Ashen Blow it and call it a day, I guess. So yeah, Horned Raymond winning me the game, despite me playing rather badly here. But it is as it is. Off to the next one. So... last one is quite a treat. It's against Chaos Spawn. I see him more often lately, and I fuck with that. I really like Chaos Spawn as well, and I don't know, yeah, he has 25 HP, gentlemen, but Angron is not that popular anymore. Chaos Spawn is a viable pick in my opinion. Very good neutral warlord. I start with the mission. Give that baby Spawn a smack. So that I can kill it next turn. But he kills it for me. That's very convenient, not gonna lie. Because now I can take over the board a bit. Smack into that bitch. And shoot it with the Legionary Last Rifle. What's his name? Tulek. Alright, Kaiser Lane. One of his shitting gold here. Plays a 3-3. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I would just probably spawn the spawn and save resources from my hand because I'm just gonna kill it anyway. So, I'm gonna play Parents of Fate. I'm going second, so it's not gonna be as good. And I want Kaiser Lane to produce some cool stuff for us. No need to precog her yet. If he has a damage tactic, so fucking be it. I don't mind. It's not that important. He attacks it regardless. So now I would probably give it precog. Buffs his Kaiser Lane for 3 energy, so that's a very dead turn. I could actually blow it, but I think there are bigger things to come, like he probably plays 1 or 2 greater demons. This time I precog Sukasan, so he can't sneaky smack her. And he just spawns a dude and gets another tactic. A very slow spawn, that's not how you want to play spawn. You want to play spawn really quick. Call the tutelary, perfect. We have a hidden one out here, so this is going to be really juicy and will hopefully help us to complete the mission. So I'm gonna buff him up here, and then I'm gonna precog Sukasan and trade into the baby spawn. Alright, good stuff. He takes with Kaiser Lane, I'm like, oh, what's that? What's that? Planetary Approach for 7. On the hidden one, that sucks. That sucks too, though. Never lucky, holy shit. Yeah, I hate Planetary Approach. I would never fucking play that card myself, man, because of shit like this. I foresaw this because I was like really laughing my ass off. It was so bad. So yeah, he has a box, boy. That's what I need to keep the Ashen Blow for. But I'll take the Remnant here, yeah? That's juicy as fuck, man. Let's get it. I also don't do anything else. Could have precogged this guy as well, because he has Burning of Bot here up the top. Kills that. Sucks really badly, and kills that as well. So, yeah. Mission progress not looking good, not gonna lie. But I'm also sitting in maintenance, so I can't play the Horned Raymond here. I get a War Portal because I have an Astral Warfare, I have an Ashen Blow, and I don't like Witchfire at all. And War Portal will come in handy if I will eventually draw Ore, because this game seems to drag on, right? Here's the Bug Boy in all his beauty. Alright. He decides to trade away his Kaiser Lane. I didn't precog that. I was like, yeah, fine, whatever. So I could draw even another Ashen Blow. And I obviously use it on the boy from the bog. He shits out a fly upon death. Can I play a Horn Raymond? Nothing else to do here. I use the what's his name? Remnant to trade. This is more valuable to me, but it will die. And I will sit on maintenance here, but it doesn't matter that much. So, second graded demon. I don't know if he plays. Oh, sorry. I don't know if he plays Khorne as well, like the Garlic guy. Doesn't matter too much anyway. So I decide to not go for the. I can't even play Ashen Blow. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, now I'll play Immunus Squad. Informant. That's fine. Into a Warp Assault. Not so fine. So he will get something. And will also give me a little smack. Alright, let's see. Ahriman's Cabal, finally. This will finally help me to complete the mission. Unless Kaiser Lane shed some gold here, this guy will stick no matter what. So, yeah, I give it a... I blast that one back into the warp. And he gets, of course, a Bloodmaster from the Salt. That sucks really badly, not gonna lie. So, I can clear this one pretty easily though. Ahriman's Cabal here really shines, gives me that extra psychic energy, completes my mission. I play the Unleashed Mind, and I'm gonna bash into one of the Bloodmasters, play the Quaspeed. I should have played that one first, so the ping maybe hits it, but whatever. Then I Astral Warfare. So the correct ordering would have been here to play the Quaspeeder first, then bash, then Astral Warfare, then Quaspeeder. So I almost did it right. But yeah, all the pinks go to my face, which is fine, I guess. So, yeah. Plays this, but that's lethal. No matter what I get here from my mission. Unfortunately, again, didn't contribute by getting another Astral Warfare. That's so fucking huge, man. So, I'll just finish it here with another 2-punch combo into Space Sorcery. Actually kills the 6-4 as well. Juicy warfare there. Juicy warfare. Alright, guys. That's why I was looking before the last clip at here. Like, it's a long video already. I hope you enjoyed. Ahriman was requested, so here you go. I actually enjoy him a lot right now. I climbed fairly high with him, so yeah, fairly high. It's like top 50 basically. Not that high, but decent enough in my opinion. So yeah, as mentioned, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment with what you're thinking about this deck, what you would improve maybe. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to not miss future videos and upcoming streams. And another quick reminder that there's a giveaway on my channel. Please check the video description or click on the I button at the top right of your corner. I hope to see you next time, and until then, peace.